jaws. So there's his eyes, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
What are the yellow patches on him? That's, boy, he's very unusual.
Okay, I'll take the biology question first, and then I'll let Dave handle the ROV question.
Yes, so
It's very strange.
yeah.
Yes,
So
it is.
thank you, pilot, for that view. That's the best view I think we've ever gotten of one of these things.
probably a shrimp or something. They don't often
Well, if he's going to move a little bit for us, can't really.
throughout the rest of their lives.
I guess it's a shrimp, a very
Yeah.
odd-looking shrimp.
You can see the tail in the back.
Yeah, but look at how bulbous the thorax is around it. It's,
stay underwater almost indefinitely. Run into some issues with certain components.
so Mary Wickstein had,
Right.
yeah. So Megan
quick
is
establishment.
suggesting a collection. I
Get
think
the
we'll
lasers.
hold off, Megan, and if we, as we go upslope, we've got a lot of animals here, and as we go upslope, if we see some more of these and don't see
Full
anything that's really new, then I think so. My one concern is the shrimp may bail when they're very big sponges, so you have to get only the top of them, and it may be difficult to
center
keep
back
them
up on
inside of your sample.
direction of
But
motion here.
it's worth
Copy.
a go.
Going back to 180.
Chip's been stopped for maybe
see
3
anything
minutes.
else up. I have a feeling
Copy.
they're going
Thank
to
you.
persist
Well,
all the way up
Too
the
much.
top of this cone. We'll see some more of these. Now we've got a. Look at that.
There you go. That's
Let's
180.
come in here. Come in here, video.
Okay. Good eyes.
Yes. What is that?
That is a carnivorous tunicate and family
Unusual.
Octonemidae. We're kind of seeing it at an odd angle here. But these are pretty cool animals. So most tunicates we think of as being mid-water floating around, up there. But this type of, or they're stuck to the bottom and are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of little sea squirts, but this is very different. This is a guy who's got a mouth, a modified mouth. You can't really see it, but they catch things and eat them as they come by. So I think it's octonemid.
Okay, when you're good.
Good. Tina was talking about the weird Chrysogorgia, and Tina, yeah, we'll keep that in mind. How about that white? Is that just a stump, isn't it, pilot? Right by the lasers?
Yeah, just do snap here.
Yeah,
I think it's a
okay.
stump.
Yeah, we're still kind of keeping an eye out for one of Chris's sea
come on up.
stars. A small Chrysogorgia over
Guys
there
look
to
like
the
you're
right.
about ready, or where's he at?
And
Do you want?
it's a pretty area.
Maybe just a minute.
Fuzzy coral.
Yeah,
there.
let's
I'm
wait
not sure if
a
it's
little
that.
bit.
That's
Snap,
the
snap here real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, looks like it's brittle star. Okay.
And then this guy,
And
overgrown.
yeah, it's being overgrown. It's like an internodal bamboo coral. Yeah, overgrown with zoanthids, and it's
Okay,
a little
zoom.
crinoid, and looks like an anemone. So a lot of things are kind of pestering this bamboo coral.
Yeah, some of these new branches don't look too good.
Yeah, no, it's maybe that's it. Maybe it's
Alright, come on up.
So we descend and ascend at 30 meters per minute. That's limited primarily by the amount of force that a thrusters generate.
Pilot Roland was saying there was a stock crinoid behind that bamboo. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
6,000 meters. It's more than 3 hours in each direction. So
And
it
he
does
has
take
really
a
good
long time
eyes. So
to get down to that depth.
you see anything like that?
The launch and recovery is pretty quick. It takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So most of our time getting down to that level.
I don't see it. Yeah, it's the one that's going off screen in the upper left corner right now. Can you sort of point it out to us, Roland? Because I don't see it right now. Yeah, this one, wasn't it? Because that had the zoanthids on it, right where the laser is right now.
Well, our preferred unit, decibars, 2,000
Okay, anyway, we can go ahead and move on, pilot. We're going to keep an eye out for those. stalk crinoids are really a treat. These are called sea lilies, the common name for them.
Pretty high, down at 6,000 meters. That's 9,000.
There's another Anthomastus. We could probably pass that by because we can recognize it really easily. This got a Chrysogorgia down below us here. I think it's the first that we've documented of this species. Oh, excuse me, pilot. I'm going to intercept to the right of where we were. I'm just seeing if that's a crinoid right there by the
Yeah, come on in.
lasers. It is, okay, yeah, it's a crinoid. We're looking for a special urchin down here, but that's a crinoid. Kind of funny in that it's red and white. I don't know what that means. Crinoids are, in this case, it's also, it's a,
Come a little closer.
it's called a feather star, common
partial.
name. These are a variety of these animals that does not have a stalk, and so the stalk ones are
Okay,
called
I'll
sea
take a bit more
lilies.
zoom.
Yep.
Yeah, it's, what is going on with that color?
idea how much pressure is involved here. You can take styrofoam cups or styrofoam ice coolers and put them
I don't know what that bicolor means.
down to that depth, and that'll literally shrink the
It's
size.
obviously healthy. All of its arms are intact and everything else. So I have no idea what the color means. But anyway, thank you, pilot.
Yeah, coming up.
Well, maybe we can get a zoom on this. Yeah, right there.
Go ahead.
So the coral is a Chrysogorgid, and then this crustacean that's inside of it
Partial.
right now is called a spot lobster, and we think it's in the family Chirostylidae and in the genus possibly Europtychus.
Okay, I'm gonna take a bit more.
Go ahead.
That's next.
See that prominent spine right between his eyes. A beautiful image of one of the many animals that colonize corals and call them home, and presumably there's again a beneficial relationship. The squat lobster gets some type of protection probably, and it gets up off the bottom, or maybe has more efficient feeding. Doesn't seem to hurt the coral at all. In fact, usually you find them in these corals, usually one per colony. There's the base, as you can see very clearly. And some people call these gold corals. I don't like to use that common name because it confuses with a shallower water, commercially important zoanthid coral is very different. It's also called a gold coral. And there's a little amphipod, I think. All right. Well, thank you, pilot.
Nice.
Coming up.
All right, coming.
Let's see what's going on in chat. So Tino is talking about Chrysogorgia collection, so we'll keep that in mind. We saw a very weird one earlier on. Maybe we'll see it again that nobody really recognized, but we weren't sure, and we don't have our Chrysogorgia's authorities on the phone right now. Note that the coral density is increasing as we're
Okay, you
going
guys ready
up
for a
slope,
move,
so
Brian?
well,
Yeah.
we may have an
Yeah, you
absolutely
can go ahead
spectacular
and put one in if you want.
community on the top of this, because we have noted on a number of these dives
Come
that
on
it
in.
keeps going up. Oh, what's that? Oh,
Bridge RV now.
here we go. It's another type of feather star.
Yeah, ready for a move. Same as last.
On a
20
branch
meters, bearing
bamboo, and this is
180, speed
called
decimal 2.
Cyathometra or something
Good copy.
like that. I've got to look it up.
Now, what is the average
Had a
speed
really
we need
nice,
to
easy name
make
for
today
it,
in order
and
to get to the
then,
summit?
Point,
Chuck Messing, who's
05.
an expert on this group of
Okay.
animals,
I can recalculate it here.
came up
Hold on.
with a different
Yeah, we
identification
definitely need to
for it
move
after
'cause
looking at
they-
photographs a little more closely.
As I heard, like they really want to get to the summit, right?
Move issue. Thanks, Bridge.
I don't know if I can pronounce it. Saphirometra is what he thinks this is. We used to call it Cerametra, but then he said there's no occurrence or no record of occurrence of that genus here in the Central Pacific. I think he, if I remember his email correctly, he thought it was only in the Atlantic or Gulf. And so he thought a better idea for this one would be this other genus I just pronounced. And they're both, I think, in the family Xenometridae, which are really beautiful.
All right, you're good video.
Thank you.
I got average speed 0.07.
Yeah, so you want to
there's a-
keep us moving.
Okay, we've got two things here, that anemone that's on the rock, and then there's a different bamboo behind it. And what's this?
Come on in, video.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's another crinoid.
What's that to the lower right? Is that a sponge?
Sorry.
All right, coming up.
Okay, navigator, we can switch whenever you
There
want.
was an anemone, yeah, there it is. And there's just another crinoid there. And then we've got this lyre bamboo that's
Right,
sticking
come
up
on
to
in.
the, to the right, and we'll take a look at that after that. So we're just seeing different animal, but after different animal after different animal at the site. So this is an enemy that we are
Okay, to zoom in further.
presently
Go
just assigning the family Actinostolidae. We're assigning it to the family Actinostolidae just because we're not sure. And this is on the council of some anemone experts, Michelle Rodriguez and Nadia Sumerian, who've looked at a lot of the Okeanos anemone photos. So, yeah, thank you very much for that, pilot.
Let's get this thing in the back.
Yeah, what is that? Hey, I was punching it in and I didn't see what you were zooming on. Can we get any closer, pilot, or is that it?
No, we can get closer. Come on out.
I don't know what that is, actually. I don't have a clue at the moment. Maybe some type of hydrozoan?
So this is Chris Ma, and I'm back. It was a pleasure speaking to the teachers
Right,
at
come
the
on in.
OER workshop. Always
Come on in.
happy to spread the love about Okeanos
Where'd
Explorer.
it go? Oh no. Oh, there it is.
Roger, Nav, go ahead.
That's not quite the full zoom.
All right, go ahead.
That's correct.
Go full.
Max.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Nav. Appreciate that.
Conference line is being reconnected.
So Nav, if you keep us moving,
So
at
we're
like
back.
0.1.
They had to
or
disconnect
speed
the
up to
conference
0.2
line,
occasionally
revisit-
as I get ahead,
disconnect the
then
conference line
I'll zoom
briefly
as
to
as I can, and
get this interaction that
shots that
Chris
I
Ma
can.
was with.
All right,
I'm
then
not sure they heard your
0.1,
intro, Chris, that you're back.
Every 20 meters,
so
just
this
calling
is
a
Chris
move.
Ma,
Sounds good.
and I'm
you can do 30
back in the
meters.
chair. Looking forward to seeing the
and
next. I was
you
happy to have had a nice
you
interaction
can alternate
with
based
the
on
workshop at the Doceum.
how slow or fast
with,
we're going.
All right.
Between
school
0.1 and
teachers in
0.2, and
Texas.
just let us know, and I think that'll be
Video's
good.
clear.
All right, come on out.
All right, copy.
And this is a very common bamboo. Maybe we can just do a snap zoom on this one because this is I4 clade.
All right, come on in.
Very distinctive bamboo, very beautiful. And this is something
Partial.
that we just sort of referred to before it gets described as slurpisis because it has hollow branches that look like straws, your drinking straw. And this is
Co-pilot,
coined
I'm
by
gonna
Dr.
call
Les
20
Watman.
meters,
When he
0.1.
first examined it, he was
Sounds
totally
good.
surprised to
Three
find
tilts up.
those hollow branches. So Yeah, thank you very much for that.
Wow, that's weird.
So we keep getting new creatures, Chris. That has
Josh, did you
slowed
want
our
a continuous
progress up
move?
the
One big
flank.
move?
It's just
that what
it's
you're
one
talking
right after
No,
another
I
after
mean,
another. It's just amazing.
Basically,
That's
instead
what
of
you call
like
a good problem to have.
instead of
Okay.
move and then have the ship stationary for a long period,
Instead of jumping, rather do a smooth.
just keep calling in moves,
Coming
and then rather than based on my
Overgrown
zooms,
Paragorgia, we've already
right,
zoomed
and how
those.
fast we're going, have the ship go a
We've
certain
got
speed, and we
Regadrella
we just have
sponges
to keep
that have
up
a
with the ship.
commensal
It is what you have.
anemone.
Go. That was good.
If
I've
we
never
move
seen
at
before.
0.1, that should be good
Yeah,
to
we
do
got
zooms
two
and
of them. The
everything.
first we thought
Yeah,
was a
it's
fluke.
good for zooms. It's good you can even sample. You're doing short
So
moves
there's
that allows us
platforms on
to stop and get a sample, and the ship can just keep going.
Just kidding.
And then it also
What is
you
that
can speed up
dark
as
spiny thing in the
yeah.
sandy
And,
pond
like a
ahead
pond
of
way
us?
out ahead. You
But
can
it's
call
a
in some
Cereantid,
point twos
maybe.
and let's come on in video.
yeah.
Oh, here we
And
go.
there's a cup coral behind it on the wall.
Partial.
So we think this is a tube anemone that lives in sediment.
Oh, no.
Can we
It's
zoom
a
on it a
normal-
little bit closer? That is
Yeah,
a
come on
different
in.
one.
I don't think it's a tube anemone either. There's no secondary ring of tentacles, is there?
Well, yeah, you're
Excellent.
right. Wow, that's beautiful. Let's see, Tina. Oh, Les Watling is now on the phone. Thank you for joining us, Les. We needed the cavalry. There's a fair number of bamboos that we've imaged already today. So, yeah, it's an anemone. I would assume. I'm waiting for Tina's call on it.
It does seem to have some kind of sediment tube around the edge of it, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but then it should have the inner ring of tentacles, as you know, which it doesn't seem to have for that group. Alrighty, thank you, pilot.
And there's a cup coral to the upper left as well.
Right, coming up partial.
There we go.
Okay, let's get the cup curl.
Yeah, cup corals are single polyp scleractinians that are in the hard coral group that you typically see in shallow water. And when you're snorkeling in the tropics, the regular coral reef that everybody thinks about is composed of a lot of these the larger members in this group. This is one single
Drifting
polyp,
backwards
so
ever
it's a
so
very
slightly.
different type of hard
Backing away
coral.
from it. I got a coral right
Looks
on
like
my
those are
tail.
branched foraminifera or something on
Right,
the wall.
it's coming out.
And a shrimp, nematocarcinus. Gee, isn't that surprising, seeing a nematocarcinus?
Got you at 78 degrees.
We have seen that shrimp
Copy.
on every
Pushing
single dive, and we're beginning to suspect that they're following us around the seafloor as we go, which of course is ridiculous, but still they're very, very common. We haven't seen a sea star yet, Chris. We've seen crinoids. We haven't seen an urchin either. Crinoids, we got a holothroidian.
Oh, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I vaguely remember seeing that. Well, it'll turn up.
Yeah, so looks like some more of these, what we were tentatively calling Isodella weberi. We had some zooms on these earlier, Les. So they're all branching, a whole bunch of branches right around the node, the first node coming off of the base. And some really beautiful examples of these. This is a big one right in front of us. You can see all the branches coming off near the base. And some of these...
Well, if you're
is
right.
that it? Oh, you're right, maybe, but let's take a snap zoom at least.
Right,
You
come on
never
in.
know. Yep.
Oh, Scanophia acanthid.
Canted, yeah.
Yeah.
Next to that coral that we just
And
passed, it
there's
looked
a
like something
crinoid
very
right
dark.
there. Two different types of animals in the Echinodermata.
All right, come on out.
It was either a cave or it was
Snap on this guy.
Another hemicorallium, and there's another one of these Cyathometras, or however you pronounce it. It's just a slightly different coloration to them, but these are in the family Xenometridae. We imaged one just a few minutes ago.
All right, come on out.
Beautiful hemicorallium. We got, there's an Iridogorgia. That's the first that we've seen today, going off screen on the left.
Take a shot on that as we come by.
You're ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Looks like Iridogorgia magnispiralis.
I didn't realize until I was actually on the cruise that one could actually sort of look down the barrel, if you will, of that helix that they create. It's always amazing to me how beautiful they are.
All right, let's let him go. And
Les
center
is
back
saying
up.
he may need to reboot his computer, so he may just miss the Iridogorgia, which is one of the things he really enjoys. These are these vase sponges. We got a bunch of those. Pilot, as usual, if you see anything on the seafloor that's grabbable a rock, I have not. I've been looking out for them this morning. I have yet to see a single rock that is clearly free of the seafloor. So it doesn't mean we won't see some further upslope, but
Is this new?
yeah, this could be new. I think it's a different type of
All right, come
bamboo.
on in.
And with anemones on there. So where is it? It's branching at the node. So this could also be a type of Isodella, but different than the other one.
You already took the
Maybe.
diagnostic.
Maybe Les will be
information,
back
right?
on
Yeah,
so he can
I looked
give us
at it
Come in tight.
multiple times.
Copy bridge.
an
And that
ID on
hasn't
this.
changed today.
Okay.
Yeah, so save that to
Too much movement.
desktop.
Yeah, I don't have time to set
Les,
down.
can you Les is back on the fast
That's
lane.
you at 82.
And we were thinking that it's an internodal, it's a nodal brancher, I think.
All right, let's come out. I gotta push ahead.
Something on the seafloor there. That little
Snap
is that
on
a
this as we
hermit
go
crab,
by.
maybe?
It does
Yeah,
have that
correct.
kind of hermit. Yep.
Snap in.
Is he got an anemone on his back or?
All right.
Yeah.
Co-pilot, I'm gonna call another
Well, he's got a
0.1.
shell, and then he's got an anemone on the
Sounds good to
shell.
me.
Unlike some of
20
them, that
meters,
just
0.1.
have the anemone.
A little bit of time, Josh. We're going slow, so.
All right,
So, pagurid is what it would be.
all right, come on out, Roland.
Okay. So John Smith said he's sitting here on Saturday waiting for a loose rock, and he hasn't spotted any either.
Stock crinoid went off bottom right. Stock crinoid left of lasers.
Yeah, we're looking up the side of a volcanic cone that's on the top of a
right,
seamount
come on in.
that you don't know the stock crinoid. All right, there we go.
Huh. Wow. That's kind of
Yeah.
being blustered around there, isn't it?
Yes, is this a Bathycrinus maybe? It sort of looks like that. You can't tell since he got.
It is a little different looking. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I wonder if
It's smaller.
yeah, it's smaller.
So stocked crinoids are sort
Much
of
bigger
older
one behind
cousins
us.
of the feather stars that we've been seeing. They're the same type of animal, but they have, instead of free-living little legs, they actually have this stalk which adheres them to the surface. But the sort of resemblance begins right at the cup at the top, and there's a mouth where all of those arms converge, as well as the rest of the animal's sort of guts and viscera all kept up in the cup. The stalk has a lot of stuff on it, which is not usually the case. For people who are doing sort of Midwestern paleontology, the stalk is actually composed of several sort of round lifesaver-like pieces. And if you do any kind of geology or paleontology, it's those pieces that you find on the side of the road in a lot of Paleozoic rocks, often called Indian beads or other types of sort of commonly encountered fossil items.
Yeah, thank you. So okay, I'm becoming a cone head again. I'm starting to be a believer in cones. We've had a I was very disappointed by a few of the cones in 2015, and now I've revived my enthusiasm for them.
Well, so far the end game of the last two cones has been really satisfying.
Yeah.
But I still think it would be nice to start off with the big crazy ending, and then
Well,
and see all the stuff first.
I'll tell you what. Maybe you can design an ROV that efficiently goes down slope.
Yes, I know. I don't necessarily speak as an engineer. I simply speak as a person who's consuming the video.
Right. If you're seeing little brown things in between the other corals, these are we've documented a number of antipitherians or black corals today, things that look like Trisopathes, according to Tina Molotova. We had Astaropathes, Umbellapathes. We've had at least 3 genera of black corals so far. Lots of bamboos, unbranched, these branching colonies here, and you can see the density is already increasing as we climb up the slope. So this bodes very well for the summit.
Fuzzy at the bottom of the
There's
screen.
something white on the edge of that bamboo coral, Chris. It couldn't be, could
Next
it?
to the shrimp.
I
If we
think
go
it's
over to the
probably
right.
squat lobster.
It's over to the right as you can pan over a little bit. Oh, is it just on the rock? I thought it was on the branch. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm trying to find a sea star for you, Chris.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard with the coral abundance increasing.
Oh,
more
excuse
of its
me,
food.
pilot. I'm sorry, interrupting. Right to the left. This is yet another species of black coral. First for the cruise, right left of the lasers. Yeah, sorry about that.
Come on in video. Come in tight if you have it.
So the corn dog sponges, if you will, are those, we collected them in 2015. Les Watling was talking about these, and these turned out to be, in Rob Van Soest, based on Spico pictures, to be most likely Piloderma. I'm not sure if he's accessed them or anyone else has the Smithsonian
It's a scale worm
specimen
in
yet.
the middle.
But anyway, now we're looking at a black coral, which we think is in the genus Bathopathes.
Also on that,
But we are
fourth
waiting to
branch
see
down.
if Tina is going to comment on this one. She has a little bit of a delay there in Moscow, where she works at the Shirshov Institute.
Ready for full
Institution,
screen?
I think.
Yep, coming up.
Right.
With lasers.
Alrighty, thank you, pilot. Whenever video is ready.
Video's clear.
Got you at 73.
Thanks, Levi.
Yeah.
So a little while ago, we saw bamboo just as Les Watling was coming on, and I put Isidella in there, and Tina just said that was probably a Bathopathes. So thank you both.
Oh, fish. Fish, fish, fish.
Where's the fish? Here is he.
Oh, yeah, a little small.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, come on in. Scared him off.
So it may be another one of these Kumbas. It's a reasonable guess. It's a rat tail, and you think it could be in the genus Kumba. It's nice
All
to
right,
have
come
a
back in, Will.
easy to remember name for some of these animals.
All right, go ahead, tight.
So we're proceeding along the bottom, sort of tracking this grenadier, but I think we've seen a good bunch of footage. We can move on as
All right,
the
come on
video
out.
is ready.
Got your 85.
Let's take a look at that sediment pond right under the lasers.
Come on in, video.
Looks like we got a little crab in there with I think that's a
Maxim.
homolid crab that carries a sea anemone around on it. Oh, there's another little sea anemone living in the sediment there. There's often a lot of things that inhabit a lot of these little oases away from the rocks, different types of animals. So even though they're not immediately evident, there's always something. Great, we can move on.
All right, come on out, video.
Bridge, this is Nav.
Holothurian.
Can you update me on that move?
It's a huge holothurian.
Copy.
Ooh,
Come on in.
sea
Copy,
cucumber.
thank you.
So
Yeah,
this
it's
is one of my
massive.
favorite animals. We see them a lot, fortunately. This is, I believe, a sea cucumber in the genus Hansenothuria, possibly, or rather, family Synallactidae. These are the tridivores. That is to say that they feed on the yummy goodness that comes floating down from the ocean and sort of settles out on the surface of the rocks amongst the sediment. And so they devour all of that sediment and slowly digest all of the organic particles. So in one sense, they're very much like earthworms. They will digest the sediment, it processes through their gut, and then is expelled as sort of a cleaned casting
full screen.
afterward. You
Good.
can see this through their intestine, through their body wall, which is transparent. What you're seeing here in the video is literally the intestine of this animal, and so
Let's get lasers.
towards the right side, that's where the lower
Oh,
intestine is
sorry.
located, and that's
There
where
we
you're
are.
seeing a whole bunch of processed sediment as it's about to be vented, and the mouth is on the left side where that darker purple area would be. There's a slightly brown thing to the upper left.
Come on
I
in.
don't know if it's
Come on in, video.
yeah, right between the lasers. Is that just a crinoid? So this is just a feather star, and it kind of
Got your 84.
related to sea stars, and it has a filter feeding arm arrangement that it puts out into the water.
All right, come on out.
Okay, we can move on. Thank you.
All right, pushing ahead.
Getting lots of lens flare to the top right.
Yep, it's reflecting off the rock.
Can we take a look at this? There's a white reflective thing in this sediment patch right below the sponge.
All right, come on in.
Oh, okay. It's probably, well, as long as we're looking at this, we might as well look at the sponge. This is, I think, in the genus
at the sponge.
Sphaeria. Yeah. This is a glass sponge, and they often
Can take a
take
peek
on
at my tether here.
very ornate
Yep.
shapes. Oh, we've got a little shrimp living on the surface of it. These are important as habitats for a lot of animals, shrimps, brittle stars, and whatnot. They're very commonly encountered at this depth. And you can see the bottom looks like it's all apparently died, but the upper half still seems to be alive. Great, we can move on.
All right, come on out.
Thank you.
I think the tether is above you here.
Oh yeah, it is.
So-
The current's shifting, so it's
Ah,
Yep.
okay.
pushing it towards me.
Just wanted to let you know where it is.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, we got to be careful that it doesn't catch a swing arm or
Yeah.
my brow. So
That's what I was thinking.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of the more annoying directions for the current to come from is aft, because you can't get down low. It pushes it into your face, it pushes it into T2. It's frustrating.
Seems to kind of want to tend to starboard
Have a
now.
stock sponge
Let's
with a
see.
little ball on top.
Yeah, I think we've seen these where we can take a
Okay.
zoom rolling. Go ahead in. Bolosoma.
Yeah, Bolosoma or Caulophacus.
Come and take.
Got a little crinoid living on it, taking advantage of the height of the stock. We're good when video is good.
Hey, come on up. There are a lot of these bamboos.
Yeah. What is that dark
That's
thing?
a crinoid.
Oh, it's another crinoid.
Feather
Yeah.
star, yeah. Big one.
Yeah. Okay, I think we saw those just a moment ago, so we can move on.
You seen that black coral at the bottom? It's got something
There's a
pink on
whip
it.
coral to the left. There's an orange blob on it. Let's see if that's anything unusual.
What were you looking at,
I'm
Chris?
sorry, on the right, there's
On
a
the right.
big sort of, not a whip, but a branching bamboo. I'm sorry, it's to the left now.
The one center.
Yeah, it's a branching structure. Yeah, that to the left
Right.
of the lasers.
Come on in.
Yeah, sorry, and there's a... Okay, so we have a little sea anemone living on this bamboo coral. I think this is the one that we've seen a little earlier
Say
today.
stock crinoid, bottom left corner of the screen.
Okay, I'm done. If this video is done. Oh, here's another stock crinoid. We've been seeing these smaller ones today. This one has an interesting... Oh, that's curious. Oh, you know what this is? I bet this is a pentacrinid larva of some of those long psychothrometrids or whatever it is, because the arm tips are very elongate, and there are... If we can zoom in on the
Smacks
the,
in.
the cup there, there are actually sort of those seed-like structures that are right around the mouth. Those are reproductive structures. This might be something that's about ready to become one of those feather stars, and looks like they might actually already have reproductive
Okay, where'd that guy go?
bits
He's
ready to
to
go.
the left of the top
Coming in.
longest stem.
Hey, go ahead in. Go ahead in.
Copy bridge.
Wow, that's a new
Let's
one.
just keep moving. 20
I'm not sure if
meters,
that's the adults of
180,
the other- of the small one
0.1
of the other
knots.
one, or just a new species of stock crinoid. The other thing that we're seeing here is there are a number of small snails present on the on the stalk as well as on the arms, and those are eulimid snails. They're kind of, as someone said the other day, the ticks of the echinoderm world. They will attach and use their proboscis and sort of punch a hole right through the body
We'll
wall
scroll
and
down left
suck
to
the
get right on
juices
top
of their
of
host
it.
right out. So a lot going on that little crinoid. Neat.
It's weirdness going under the lasers.
The yellow one, we've seen that earlier. It's an overgrown.
Yeah, that's an
coral.
overgrown paragorgia with a zoanthid colony. A brutal fight for space on the Octocorallium universe.
So another long whip coming up.
Oh wow!
Seems
Yeah,
exceptionally long.
let's check out the big long whip.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess.
can we do a quick zoom on this? There's a little circular thing on the rock to the right, next to the brittle star. To the right of the lasers.
This guy?
Yeah. I think
Come on
it's
in
a
video.
sponge, but oh, that's a little sea anemone. Neat. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Right, come on
Yeah,
in.
we can move on. And that's an amphiurid ophiuroid to the left. But yeah, let's check out this whip. Maybe start from the top.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
About as tall as D2, which makes it quite a long one.
Got you about 74
Sounds
degrees.
like Les Watling is
South
having
of my
some
port
frozen
side
video
here.
issues. He's our usual authority. And, yeah, okay. Well, we can continue down at a steady steady rate, and hopefully it'll unfreeze before we're done. But we see plenty of spicules in the surface tissue. This is a characteristic that is often used by octocoral scientists to determine what type of species or genus it belongs to.
All right. When you're good, video.
And then, are we able to get a shot of the base as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, go for the base.
Oh, and so these little wormy things that are on the base of this coral, I think those are aplacophorans. These are worm-like mollusks which feed on the soft tissue of these corals, and they're not very well known, but we've seen them on multiple occasions on Okeanos. At one point, they were sort of very significant in molluscan evolution. I'm not sure how they rate these days.
All right, let's come on out.
Great.
Gotta
Thank
move
you.
along.
There's a little orange spot on that whip coral to the left. Can we take a look at that?
All right, come on in, roll. Squat lobster.
Ah, it's a squat lobster. Okay, we can move on.
Several on that guy.
Yeah. Oh, different types.
Okay, pilot and co-pilot, that's about 5 consecutive moves. Do you feel good keeping those consecutive moves coming?
Yes.
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good pace.
How are we doing on pace?
Let me calculate it 1 second.
It's a nice candelabra looking thing.
Yeah, we're pretty
Head over
much
to the- there's a big vase
keeping it
plant
at
over to the left,
0.075.
behind that yellow
So
coral
I
in the
took speed.
background.
Average 0.075.
That doesn't look like we've seen it before.
Okay.
So I think
I'll work my way up there, Chris.
Oh, of course, no worries.
Pink coral, mushroom coral under
Yeah,
above the
we've
lady.
seen one of those. Come on in, roll.
So this is Anthomastus. This is a mushroom coral, a soft coral. And in the foreground is, I believe that's Bolosomos, is a glass sponge. A little crinoid living on it. These things are delightful because I think on the other end we actually have an operculum or an opening. You can sort of see the internal structure. That's like a couple of eyes. So Les Watling tells us that the tall
Some
bamboo
growths
coral
in
we
the
just
bottom,
looked at
snails, I
is
think.
B-clade, or another I4 clade bamboo.
Come on in,
So
Roland.
essentially yet another undescribed species of bamboo coral. Oh, and this one has some interesting snails living on it, on the surface.
Got you at 80 degrees.
Are these
Yeah,
more
copy that.
Placophorans? Oh, weird.
All right, come on out.
Yeah. I think we were on our way to seeing this interesting glass sponge in the background, which looks different from the others that we've seen.
Okay, I'm there. This looks like the Regadrella that we imaged maybe when you were in the live interaction.
Okay.
Come on in, video.
But the yellow bamboo, is that overgrown? Yeah, it's overgrown, I think.
That's Regadrella?
Yeah, it's a euplectellid vase for sure. Got some weirdity about it.
Come in, Peg.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird external morphology. Maybe it's very, very old. But yeah, this is, well, it's in the subfamily Corbitellinae for sure, euplectellid vase. Yeah, it's got a lot of kind of tissue overgrowing some of the usual
Stuff my
side
starboard, like me to turn
oscula,
or
if you
stay
will,
here?
the holes that
Stay
are
there.
Okay.
on the side.
Right. Come on out a little bit, Roland. You want to see this overgrown?
I thought it might be a yellow bamboo, but it's an overgrown one with zoanthids. I think we're probably okay with that.
All right, come on out.
Laptop's locked up again. My laptop doesn't like me going to lunch. Speaking of which, have you eaten, Chris?
Oh, yeah. haven't given that much thought.
It's a pretty good lunch,
Yeah.
so you might start thinking about
Yeah.
it.
We saw a very interesting stock crinoid that had those really tapering arm tips that the psychometras or whatever have, as well as a whole bunch of eulimids. It almost looked like a pentacrinid larva, but yeah, no, it was really unusual.
Coming up with you.
Huh. Is
Are
anything
these
else?
loose?
that
Oh,
was-
yeah, these might be
Coming
loose.
in video? They're a little small. Any of those look like that guy and the one right there might be
That's
loose.
pretty small. That looks a
Those
bit
are
like
pretty
crust.
small. Okay.
Very
Keep
well.
looking.
I'll see you
Yeah, we'll keep
in
looking.
a few minutes. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thank
Let's
you.
snap in here. Is this a new coral?
Yeah, what is all around it? I think it's just overgrown. It might have been a chrysis something or other, but I think it's got zoanthids. Does it or not? Yeah, I think it has zoanthids all over it. And there's a sponge right behind it, the Walteria sponge.
Okay, coming up. Let's get this guy.
Well,
Come on in.
there. Yeah, let's get this one because he's on what I think is a Trisopathes, a black coral.
I don't think I've seen that very often.
No, I don't think so either, Pilot. These guys usually don't settle on this type of coral, I don't think. Maybe Tina knows better on that, but I certainly haven't seen it. This looks like it's a possibly a thalassometrid, maybe, with the way the cirri on the bottom there. Those are the way it holds on to things. They're prehensile, which means they can wrap themselves around multiple turns around a branch. And you can very clearly see that. It's a beautiful image of one of these things and a beautiful side view as well.
Come out just a little bit, Roland. Yeah.
And it looks like there's not very many pinnules or polyps right where it's holding on there. You see that, Pilot, right above it?
Yeah.
So it's maybe irritating the coral. You never know what's going on.
All right. Is that something different down there? Just snap in real quick.
Where is it?
Oh, it's just
Oh, just a crinoid maybe.
yeah, a couple
of them,
crinoids. All right, coming up. Pushing ahead. So is Chris Ma gone? Are we going to see a sea star now?
We have a good chance now to see one. The reason we didn't see one earlier in the live interaction, he was still looking at the monitor, so he was still kind of physically present. Chris isn't here to defend himself, but we've noticed a relationship when he steps out. That's when his animals show up. How about any of these, Pilot? What do you think? Any of
Oh,
these?
rocks.
Yeah.
Maybe
up
above
ahead a little bit,
lasers.
straight up above the lasers a ways, up in that kind of sediment pocket.
Yeah, the sediment pockets are always deceptive.
Right.
It looks like it's sitting on sand, but it's just cemented in.
How about
Let's see.
that one?
Right, that one right there.
How about next to it and over to the right now? That
Yeah,
one
we
there?
could see if that's loose.
Definitely looks
That's
like
the
it's
best
locked
prospect I think I've seen all day.
All right, let's fire up hydraulics and
Hydraulics
we'll
are up.
give it a poke and see if it's loose.
Wouldn't surprise me if it's not.
I think those other two might be loose, but those look like crust to me.
Right. This looks like it has a little more girth.
I don't know. This might be a deception rock.
Well, it's worth a poke.
Yeah.
We don't have one in the basket. Yikes. It's worth a poke.
There, you have hydraulics up?
Yeah, ready to go.
Come on, please, Rock. Be good.
Nope.
Nope.
Looking pretty solid. Just give it one more
Not even
poke.
sure those flat ones on the other side are Yeah, but they're flat. I think they're just crust, though. It's a nice thought.
I think those jaws are on backwards.
Co-pilot, we're barely halfway through the move. You want the next one to be at 0.2 to catch up with D2?
Do you copy nav, co-pilot?
Talking about speeding up the next move?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Would bring down hydraulics.
Copy. You can turn them off.
Boy, getting our rock today is going to be a tough one. Unless we see some disturbed area further upslope. A lot of these just look like pillow flows that have just draped the side of the flanks of this volcano as they ooze down slope. And then they've been cemented to the seafloor over time by the manganese crusting. Look at all those corals in the distance.
Yeah, everything seems to be getting bigger as we ascend.
Bigger and more.
Yeah.
I think. Great sign. I'm excited.
Another delayed reaction from the ROV camera.
Co-pilot copies.
Yeah, that's a Corellia, the hemicorallium. I'm back in the log here. My computer kind of crashed there and locked up for a moment. I needed to, not mine, the one I'm borrowing from Kelly, thank goodness. I had to restart things. One of those I-4 clade, just a pretty scene. Walteria sponge. It's got something white on it, but there's some of these long unbranched ones. We got a good zoom of one the other little while ago. Might be an Isadella bamboo.
Got a question.
Let's see if can we zoom in on this sponge? There's something white on it. I don't know what we're looking at. Maybe
Copy bridge.
Come on in.
is it an isopod? What is that? No, what? No, yes. No, yes. What is it? It's a crustacean of some kind, and we're seeing the underside of it. So it's facing the other way. It may be a isopod, and there might be more of them down here. That's weird, and he's trapped in there. How's one that big ever going to get out of that sponge? Maybe he doesn't want to, of course. And I don't know if you could curl around the opposite side and get a headshot of them, but maybe they can go down a little bit and see what else. There's another one, I think. And there's a brittle star, and that may be another one still right there. That might be the opposite side.
I can swing around and
Yeah, I'm not
come
sure.
out a little bit, Roland.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
It's a good angle right there. It's got the most of the body viewable.
They want to see the top. I mean, you can come in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there he is, his underside.
As to his underside.
Yeah, that's why I was coming around. Try the other way.
So sometimes we get crustaceans